Yeah. Will they please reach me? In the top corner. Yes. Maybe they want him to believe in me because no. Naik. My friend.
Yes. Okay. Why is this?
Oh, I had to change the combo price because it's at 55 here, but we actually selling it at 60.
Okay, cool. Are we gonna have a button for each?
Yes,
Okay.
there is one there already. It just needs to be updated with this year's pricing.
Okay, so if anything else that comes up, I'll ask.
You look like you're on a mission.
Well, it's just really good.
Also, Sean and I have plans ready to get out.
Love her just too much. We were so integrated in each other's lives to the point that we were spending 5, sometimes 6 days of the week together. And over time, our friendship circle grew. The introduction of Craigs, Sal, Tash, and Putz. We were also privileged enough to be invited to Sam's home in Shallcross, during which we would, of course, enjoy delicious food cooked by Auntie Vasi, sometimes bunnies, and play fair card games with Uncle Bob. I guess we could spend days, if not weeks, sharing every moment. But for now, I am thankful that we were able to get so much done in such a short space of time. Sam struggled after her accident, but never complained, and still did her best to be present, which is why we still managed to get in our last few holidays. Cullinan to Clarence to India to Indonesia to Cape Town. Each and every one of those trips were equally memorable. We will miss our excursions together, just driving to random places and seeing new things, cruising in Keelan's car around Joburg, dinners with your parents and Uncle Paddy, and you telling us about your plans. You were so determined to push the limits and push your family to be their best selves. You celebrated all of the moments, big and small. You were always there. I will miss our day and night visits to Billy's, and glad I got to spend one of your last birthdays with you at Billy's. As much as we could twist Sam's rubber arm, she too learned how to twist ours. From dancing in your garden, having drinks at your pool, walking around Stellenbosch late at night looking for a garage pie, we did it all. For those of you who didn't know Sam well, she loved to play the piano. In fact, every time we went to her flat in Fourways, there would always be a performance. She hated that I recorded everything and took thousands of photos, but this is all we have to remind us of this unbelievable soul that we got to call a friend. Sam, thank you for the memories, the friendship, the love. I hope you are now resting and sharing stories with the other teen idol, aka Lady Diana. Till we meet again, I know you will have a cheese platter, lamb chops, and a shot of tequila with mango ready. Rest well. We will forever be grateful to you and for you for the rest of our days. Um, Next, I'd like to call up Salome Ramasamy, Dean's aunt.
I greet you in the precious name of our Savior, Lord, and Jesus Christ. I'll take my reading from 1 Corinthians 13. If I speak in tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I'm only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor, and give over my body to the hardship that I boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is the part? What is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only in a reflection as in a mirror. Then we see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully. And now these three things remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. On behalf of our family, our deepest condolences to Dean and the broader family on both sides. A great loss indeed. Sally suffered and endured unspeakable injuries and illness with admirable courage, resilience, and fortitude. A lesser person would have been devastated at this turn of events, but she was a tenacious young woman who fought battles with courage and calm. Sammy was highly intelligent. She was a talented musician too. John, my husband, and I enjoyed her hospitality when we were in Johannesburg last year.
With them unmuted.
Last year during this time.
One street town.
She and Dean enjoyed a marriage filled with warmth and affection and care. Dean has certainly suffered a great loss, the extent of which is not sufficiently
Oh.
describable in words.
You
To
check the
Sammy's,
Kirsten
to
window.
Sammy's parents, we expressed our deepest condolences
Oh.
for the loss of your beloved. To my sisters, Rita Mama, Penny Mama, and brother-in-law Ronnie Papa, I cannot imagine what you're going through. But the Bible says in Isaiah 61, those comforting words of God, He gives beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for a spirit of heaviness. Blessed are those that mourn, for they shall be comforted. May the love and peace of God sustain you. And taking my reading from Numbers 6:24-26, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And I'd like in closing,
What is
I'd like
it?
to leave you with the Irish blessing. May the road rise to meet
The
you.
killer
May
could
the
say
wind
this man is
always blow
there. I
at your back.
can't help him
May
now.
the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your field. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hands. God bless.
Burger. You want a burger?
Yeah,
I need to go by square because I'm busy now watching the funeral. Baba,
Next,
tell him.
we'll play a recorded tribute from Sam's cousin, Dr. Mageshan.
Okay, good. Tell him to stay, yeah. Tell him.
Management
Tell him to
approach
stay.
based on
Yeah,
openness, honesty,
tell him to stay.
transparency,
Tell him to stay.
and integrity.
Please
This
ask her to
was the
stay. She
topic
got
of
something to
Sam's
do.
PhD
Stop watching the
research,
funeral.
focusing specifically on the architectural profession in South Africa. She had noticed lots of things in her career and that she wanted to bring positive change to. During her tenure as an architect, she worked on many interesting projects, including the car train and some of those fancy buildings you see standing in Sandton now. She began the PhD process just after her accident and was pretty close to graduating. I think the title of doctor or PhD graduate is bestowed formally during graduation process. But in many ways, Sam already embodied what being a PhD graduate should be. She lived many of the characteristics such as high ethics, higher order and critical thinking, one normally comes with the title. I think in many ways and in spirit, one could already call her Dr. Some of the things Sam used to say, too soon, Muggsy. Oh goodness, not again. Right, where are we going to celebrate? And who's bringing the tequila? She was always full of life, hope, and love. And this we should always remember. She gave me lots of strength. Many, many things that I've had to remember. Some of the earliest memories I have of Sam starts from when I was about 4 or 5 and they were moving from Merebank to Arinaga. And I was trying to convince her and Devika not to move and promising to be, less naughty, which was not successful, being less naughty. And then I recall when she came to visit from the UK, and she'd tell us stories about her experiences there. And it seemed like a completely different life. But I know she had interesting experiences and so played a role in her development.
But he also had short legs.
Then came the late teens and early 20s and the
So let me see where she bought his stuff.
I recall one night in particular,
Yeah.
4 cousins, Sam, Carter, Keelan, and myself.
Yeah.
We were out on the north coast of
Samantha is
Durban.
actually not
At 3
that
a.m., none of
small.
the
A lot of people
restaurants or
get
takeouts
that,
were
but he
open.
doesn't like. He likes it to be by
What
his
we
bum.
do,
He likes his.
we went to La Mercy and we woke
But if you
KG
told
up
me
at
that,
3 o'clock in the morning. KG and Devika woke up and made us some cheese toast. Still some of the best cheese toast I remember. And then when I was emigrating, Sam and Dean helped with a lot of the logistics. for the application at the embassy. And then they were also the last family I saw before I left the country. They were also shortlisted, people that I spoke to almost on a daily basis. Sam and Dean came to visit twice, once in Italy in 2022 and in 2023.
Don't worry.
I remember on both trips, Sam
Keep
being
calling me.
very detailed in her planning and stopped short of waking us up with a frying pan and a spoon with a loud noise in the mornings. She remains with us in spirit, but I think she would want us to celebrate her life and use her as an example to draw strength from, and to continue living our lives to the fullest and enjoying every moment, while importantly fulfilling our duties, something that Sam took very seriously. She was selfless, put everyone before herself, and that did give her some strain, but she did all of that with a good heart. She would, though, want all of us to be the best versions of ourselves going forward. And this is the only thing we can do, or one of the few things we can do to honor her memory. Dear family and friends, it breaks my heart that we're not able to be there with you during this very trying time. But Rena and myself send our love and prayers to everyone. Authentic leadership is a management approach based on hope.
We'll now hear from Saloshni Perumal, one of Sam's oldest friends who will come up to speak.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm privileged to speak with my dear friend Sarah. Our friendship began at Zippers Primary School, and it was a journey filled with unforgettable memories. I remember how Sam would insist that my little brother and I go and play with her in Lekampa Road, unbeknownst to Uncle Bob and Auntie Barcy. Poor Uncle Bob, he used to get home from work, and here's his two kids that he needed to pack into his car and take them and drive them home. But he did that with a beautiful smile and just went with the flow. So Sam didn't know I hated cats. And the one year she insisted she'd give me a cat. So again, Uncle Bob packed us up to the car and he took his cat home. The cat never lasted the night. So I don't have her that. So we parted ways in high school. Sam went to girls' high. I went to the local school in Merebank. Our family had moved to Harinaga. And I remember like school holidays, I would look in those days we had the telephone directory. I would look for the surname Naik and look for the address and pick up the phone and like just ask, is this Sam's house? And we used to keep in contact that way. So throughout our high school and college years, we had the odd phone call, the odd visit. She would come to campus and we'd see each other. Then fast forward to 2001, I moved to Joburg again, and by the stroke of fate, we bumped into each other at Sandton City. That moment rekindled our friendship. So I'm not too sure if anyone remembers Aquawires in Sandton City. So So when I moved there, it was moving day, and I stopped to get something to eat. So I was looking for samosas and a Coke. And we were standing back to back. So I was ordering my stuff, and she was ordering, and she heard my voice. And she tapped me on the shoulder, and it was like slushy. And that was that. That's how this friendship began again. This time, as young women embarking, taking on the world. So we always joked about how food brought us together, you know, and we loved food. From weekends away in Cape Town to trips to the Berg, exploring Italy, a lovely cruise to Mozambique, we created countless memories. But the most precious time with Sam was spent just sitting on the couch in each other's homes and talking about life and the lessons we've learned, and all the lessons we've learned as we navigated childhood, adulthood. Sorry, we were each other's support structure in Johannesburg at that time, prior to Kriya and Tess all being around. I must, at this point, also refer to Sam's MG. I'm sure you all know Sam's MG. This was her liberation car, okay? It was a sign of who she was. So she adored this car. But for me, that car also brought back memories of when we went to Drakensberg. And if you know that MG, it was small, okay? With two girls with bags for the week. But she had place for food. When I tell you, behind the back seat, behind the driver's seat, she's like, Slushy, there's always place for food. Move, move, move. Because Auntie Vasi would pack up everything, and we'd take that food that Tess and Kriya mentioned. We'd all enjoy Auntie Vasi's food. So after that, we both met our lives partners and we settled down. We both laughed and joked with each other about how me, being Catholic, married Hindu, and she, being Hindu, married Catholic. Indeed. And hey, and this brings me to you, Dean. You know, she loved you dearly, and she chatted to me about it recently, with her eyes, all bright and full of love. She chatted about you and what you meant to her this last month. I remember coming back into the hospital room and you were holding hands, and I remember how her eyes shone with that love when she looked at you. Thank you for being Sam's rock. You know, uh, the visit in March was beautiful, bittersweet, but beautiful as well. Being able to see Sam, to hug, laugh, and share with her will always be remembered. She had plans for when will get home, plans how she was going to relocate to Cape Town to be with Des and Priyanka and Kabab and Ativasi. Sam always had plans, you know. She'd always, this girl was just methodical that way. Yeah. So when thinking of Sam, things that I will always remember about her is her all-encompassing love for family. Auntie Vasi, you were like so inspirational to her. My mom is so strong, she can conquer the world, she can do anything. Uncle Bob, with his unwavering support of all his girls, Auntie Vasi included, always there, cheering them on, championing them, never a dull moment, you know. And I must speak about Granny, how she loved Granny and how inspirational Granny was to her as well. Granny wrote memoirs, I'm not too sure if you'll know. And the one time she said, Slush, I read the memoirs. You even featured in the memoirs. So I was like, okay. But Sam's determination and grit, even with all that she was exposed to and all that she was going through. She still faced it with a smile. She still had the love. She didn't give up. I mean, with all that she's been through, she traveled. It wasn't a full stop in her life. It meant she carried on. She got a master's. She went on to graduate. She went to Scotland on her own. This girl just carried on. There was no way the accident was going to stop her from achieving what she needed to achieve. So Sam will always be remembered, as like a ray of sunshine in our lives. She may be gone, but she lives on. And like what Max had said, was that she would want us to be happy and move on and embrace life and learn from this. And I think her life story, her journey, is a lesson to all of us to not give up, to persevere. So the fun and laughter, we experience and the memories, I will always cherish deeply. I mean, I've known her for 40 some odd years of my life. And I really do hope, and my sincerest wish is that my little girls get to experience wonderful friendship like this with their besties. Um, and Sam has just been a constant source of joy and inspiration in my life, always cheering me on and like, Slushy, what's next? What's next? What's the plan? So, Sam, thank you for being an amazing friend and for sharing your life with me. And to the family, I know we're all going to miss her. But just take solace in knowing that Sam's no longer in pain and she's resting. She's resting. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call on Sam's sister-in-law, Professor Sumeshni Govender. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. When all the dust is settled and all the crowds are gone, the thing that matters most are faith, family, and friends, says Barbara Bush. Good morning, Vanakkam, Namaskaram. Samantha loved life. She enjoyed a good book, and her home is filled with them. Fine wine, I'm sure we'll find some of that at home too. She loved to travel to exotic places, and my word, did she travel. Surrounding herself with interesting people, fabulous food, and we all are talking about food. And this made her a marvelous host. And she was a spiritual soul. But after all is said and done about Sam, I do believe that the things that mattered to her the most were her faith, her friends, and her family. These pivotal factors were the true essence of her being and brought her the most joy in her life. But they also brought her the most comfort. Her faith, despite the many trials and tribulations she faced in recent years, and they have been also very many, remained steadfast and true. But as is the norm for many an intellectual, she questioned, but she never doubted, and she placed her life in God's hands. Samantha was raised in a home. No, let me rephrase that. She was placed in a family that placed spirituality at the very core of its daily actuality.
So Sam was and continued to be, right to the very end, a child of God, in every possible way seeking the light, the love, and the peace that comes with prayer and contemplation. And we are absolutely sure that she will sit at his right hand. Friends, wow, we can see that she has been blessed with an amazing circle of friends. Her female tribe especially, and I mean no disrespect to her male friends, I see many of you here today, have an absolutely wondrous vibe. And I've had the privilege to experience this in the last few days more so. Sam, over the years, has always spoken fondly of her friends, and we have also had the pleasure and privilege of meeting many of them. And the love and compassion is now more evident than ever before. They all share Samantha's infectious sense of humor, her joy again for fine food and wine and life and laughter, and everything Sam that loved to surround herself with. So thank you for loving Samantha so freely and with such wild abandonment. Family, precious, precious family. The loss is immeasurable, but then so is the love that has been left behind. By Samantha. Samantha loved her family fiercely. Of that there is no doubt. And the life that we shared with Samantha ensures that she will never be forgotten. How lucky we are, all of us, in-laws like myself included, to have shared our lives with a soul as special, as incredible as Sam, who brought us such love, such light, such fun and laughter, such joy and peace, but was also capable of quite the opposite at times, depending on the circumstances. A daughter, a sister, a wife, an aunt, a niece, a cousin, a granddaughter, an in-law. She played every role to perfection, allowing us to create a tapestry of picture-perfect memories with her that we will all, in our own very special way, treasure for our lifetimes. How we choose to remember Samantha depends on the role that we played in her life. Be it dancing the night away at one of the many celebratory parties that her parents, Bob and Vasi Naik, hosted at her childhood home in Shallcross, and there were very many, I can tell you, from experience. Frolicking on the beach, in the Drakensberg Mountains, or the Midlands during a vacation, trekking across the globe to exotic lands like many of her friends mentioned, or her niece, or hosting dinners with the darling hubby Dean in their home, which has been a warm, welcoming, safe haven for so very many of you. Sam was a woman of so many talents, but at her very core, she was a people's person. Her people mattered most and above all else. Unfortunately, according to one of the world's foremost researchers on grief, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, the reality is that we will grieve forever. We will not get over the loss of Sam. We will learn to live with it. We will heal from it, and we will rebuild ourselves around the loss that we have suffered. We will be whole again, yes, but we will never be the same. Nor should we want to be the same. Our lives have been touched by an extraordinary woman, and we will never be the same again. And it is how it should be. Knowing Sam has had a profound impact on our lives. Her passing more so, as it should be. But what we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us, says Helen Keller. So may her divine soul attain moksha. Om Satguru. Thank you, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, there have been so many people that have wanted to share messages, and a very close relative of Sam's, Seelan Pillay, is currently out of the country. And Seelan and Sam have shared a very close relationship since birth. They actually lived together at some stage when they were younger. And he has sent a message from New Zealand. He is currently in New Zealand. He expresses his grief and sadness for not being able to attend today's farewell gathering, and he sends the following message. He says, "Dear family and friends, we are really sad that we are not there to share your grief and provide a little comfort as we say farewell to our darling Samantha. My connection with Sam has been there since her birth. I remember the day she was born, R.K. Khan Hospital. She won our hearts as a baby and little girl. We have fond memories of Sam from our extended family home in Nearbank. In later years, Imbam and I secretly enjoyed the shenanigans of Sam, Jay, my late brother, and Segri. They had a close bond, and I am sure that Jay will be welcoming Sam to the other side. Sadly, we have too many of our family members watching over us. Over the years, Sam has remained a significant part of our lives. When we moved to Johannesburg, Sam became part of our extended family. Her zest for life and her bubbly presence charmed many of our friends. She is well remembered for pouring the best shooters. Over the years, we have watched her resilience and courage in awe. She dealt with the challenges that life threw at her with grace and courage. She will always be a beacon of strength for all of us. The family will agree that Sam was the one that kept us all connected. She was a pillar of strength for all of us. Sam was someone you could count on for showing up and being there for you always. That is one of her many enduring qualities that I want to acknowledge and highlight. Throughout her health setbacks over the past years, she still found the time to acknowledge birthdays, celebrations, and achievements. She will be remembered as someone that kept the family together, a role she took over from our beloved Vijama. Sam and Dean loved having family over to their home. They opened their home to Rochelle over the last year to encourage and support her in the pursuance of her career in Johannesburg. We will all miss Sam's generous and caring nature to all those she loved. Imbam and I are really sad that we are not there to support and comfort Dean, Uncle Bob, Auntie Vasi, Devika, and Priyanka. You are all in our thoughts and prayers. Today, as you bid farewell to Sam, may you find strength in all of the shared memories created over the years. She was truly a special, remarkable woman. We will miss her dearly. May we all find comfort in the fact that her pain is over. Rest in peace, our darling Sam, till we meet again. May Om Namah Shivaya embrace and keep our beautiful Sam. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Next, I'd like to call up Sam's beloved husband, Dean Sebastian Pillay.
afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Not the greatest of circumstances, but here we are. Thank you also for being a part of Sam's life. And so many of you have your own personal stories to share. It's quite touching to hear them. And of course, I have my own stories, and it's pretty precious, the love that we share. And a person like Sam doesn't just happen. I have to be very thankful for the family that she was raised in. Sam was very much raised in a village, and she had those characteristics. She would care and love everybody. It was just this all-encompassing warm love that Sam had. And for that, I must thank the two of you and the rest of the family. Every one of you has had such a tremendous influence. That love that Sam gave, it was just, it was so honest and just from the heart. It's a very genuine love that she gave you. Of course, Sam would plan every day. Nothing got done without proper planning. And of course, I'm the total opposite. If we wait long enough, it'll get done. So I remember when we moved from the flat to our home, and Sam had boxes labeled with room numbers, locations, and the boxes were also numbered, so the movers would know exactly how to stack them. We moved and were unpacked and set, and we got comfortable in our house in the same day. Everything was done. That was pretty special in that she was, her kindness was quite unusual. It was refreshing, but it was just also a bit strange coming from Durban. Sam would carry extra bottles of water in her car. And when it was hot and she'd stop at a traffic light and there was a beggar there, or anyone actually, she'd just open her window and hand out bottles of water to these people. That's the kind of person she was, just incredibly generous. Before the rainy season, she would buy a whole lot of umbrellas and keep them in her car as well. If she was driving around and she saw anyone in the rain without umbrellas, then here you go. That was Sam. She was fun. Don't have to say any more about that. Sam was selfless. She would just give of herself freely. Sam was also brave. I would often wonder about this because Sam would stand up in a room full of people or a meeting and just take control and get people together, put teams together, get people talking. It was quite impressive, and I would watch that in awe. So I asked her the one day, how do you do it? I mean, aren't you scared? And she says, yeah, I'm trembling inside, but it has to get done. And that was Sam. Sure, the last few months have been quite taxing. But also one of the pluses of that was Sam and I had some of our deepest and most intense conversations over this time. Knowing how much was at risk, our true feelings, with that openness, we spoke about everything in that time. We had some brilliant, brilliant conversations, where we'd like to go, what we'd like to do, what the plans for the future were, who I should marry if she passed on. And like, Sam, you can't plan everything. Oh gosh. Anyways, here are a few of the favorite sayings that I'd like to repeat here. The first one is for me. What's a cheek? The other one was when she was emptying the dishwasher and I was busy working in the dining room, and she'd be bumping and banging things, and she goes, a can't help it. I'm Bob's daughter. Another one. I'm a Naik. I just do it. And the last one. Don't tell me to relax. Sam had an eye for detail. It's one of her, I think, inherent characteristics. And she had vision. She'd go and find the worst or ugliest of things, and she'd bring it home and turn this whole thing around. Yeah, she would see it in her mind, see the finished product, and lo and behold, it would be awesome. And Sam, she had a love for fine food and drinks, and couple that with travel, and it made for quite a fantastic life. She had stories from all over the world, and then later on we shared those stories too. Our honeymoon was quite interesting, where we spent a bit of time in Lisbon, and we followed Somebody Feed Phil's tour through Lisbon. Got quite a few of those restaurants and places covered, and it was fantastic. We really had the time of our lives. We really were pretty good together. And through all that, most of all, I just love being at home. The legs on my lap, my hands in hers, huddled on the couch, in front of the TV, just together. That was our thing. So once again, I thank you all for being here. I know each of you has and feels your own grief. And yeah, I hope you work through it and get over it. And well, not get over it, but like Samantha said, learn to live with it.
Our final speaker for today is Sam's uncle, Cliff Nigel.
So this morning, we were very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Bibu Chaitanya Prabhu and the devotees from the Hare Krishna movement. They shared some important information with us. Now the process that we follow is called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma, commonly nowadays referred to as Hinduism. The meaning of Sanatana Dharma is eternal laws, eternal rules. While we may commit some crime and get away with it, as you sow, so shall you reap. For the laws of karma, somehow or the other, we are responsible for all our actions. In the recent months, Samantha and I have spoken not too often, but she asked some pretty serious questions. And I think those questions arose because she was concerned about her mom. Whilst he was in hospital, Sam was in the middle of studies, and somehow or the other, you've got to find a balance. So we had these serious conversations. I kept saying to Sam, Mom and Dad will be all right, they're independent. You focus on what you need to do. But Sam would take the show here, but eventually she would follow what she needed to do. This Sanatana Dharma, meaning eternal rules, eternal laws, speaks to the fact that we as marginal energies, we are spiritual souls, we have material bodies. But because both come from God, they are both eternal. So I explained to Sam, I said, see, you've got duties and obligations towards your parents. They feel, in a sense, they have obligations towards you. You come through your parents. You're part and parcel. You're a fragmented portion of God. That is your eternal nature. So do what you can, do what you're comfortable with. In this discussion, I explained to Sam that one of the most wonderful things in this world is that while we observe those who are near and dear to us dropping dead, yet we are making plans to be here permanently. And somehow or the other, we need to work at this illusion that is covering us. So critically, and part of humanity's great failing is that humans normally don't ask the right questions. So in order to place yourself in a position where you can get spiritual knowledge, you just need to ask 3 questions. Firstly, who am I? I said all religions acknowledge that when the body falls, that the real person moves on. So in our Sanatana Dharma, we'll observe prayers continuously. It won't stop. We'll observe prayers because we have duty, not only to our parents, but to our ancestors, to our community, because we're all interdependent, and to the devils, who are the supervisors of the material energy. So we are split souls. The second question is, where do we come from? Our life does not start at birth. Society's great failing, and the narrative was already being created, and I've tried this in my community. When you ask people, what is the opposite of death? They will tell you life. And yet this is not correct. The opposite of death is birth. And the real problem on life is birth, old age, sickness, and death. And if we transcend this, we enter into the kingdom of God, and we are free of suffering. So place yourself in a position where you can get spiritual knowledge, ask the right questions, and you get the answers that will make you progress. Third question. What is my responsibility to where I come from? So because we are part and parcel of God, we are eternally in servitude to God. Yet again, our failing is that people that don't understand this, but understand that when they leave the body, they're going somewhere. They spend their entire life on this planet, catering to the needs of their body, that which they are not. And they hardly cater to the needs of who they really are, the soul. So to Sam, the best way to do this is to chant. You chant, you remember God. Every religion does this. That's not division. Eternal relationship. You want to remember God, you chant His name. And then Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that at the time of you leaving your body, that thought which comes to you, that is what you achieve. So the entire life has to be spent in making sure that when we're leaving our body, we are in the right consciousness. How you do this is up to you. But you've got to be sincere. You cannot go somewhere without the proper qualification. So in terms of duty, Vasi and Bob, as parents, they've gone over and above the call of duty, taking care of the men, Samantha, Priyanka, all those who came into their fold. Our entire life, in terms of activity, celebration is centered around them. I want you to know that you're going to create success as parents. And then you fulfill your duty to them and take great comfort in that. So I'll leave you with these thoughts and may your life be successful. Thank you.
We'll now sing a few hymns. The words are in the booklets if you'd like to.
There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall sing on that beautiful shore the melodious songs of the birds, and our spirits shall soar no more. Not a sigh for the blessing of rest in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. Our bountiful Father above, we will offer a tribute of praise for the glorious gift of His love and the blessings that our days in the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. beautiful shore.
While the next hymns are being sung, if you'd like to come up and do your final farewell to Sam, please do so.
To
Thank you everyone for being here today. Let's continue to keep Sam alive in our hearts and in our memories. And let's be kind to one another as Sam would have wanted us to be as we all find our way through this life. The family have prepared food packs towards the back. If everyone would like to get one. And then the family will have a private ceremony very soon at the crematorium. So if everyone can please lead their way towards that. Thank you, everyone.
I didn't get the pleasure of meeting you after I met your little boy. He's always very, very entertaining, very entertaining. As he she was
No.